West Virginia Attorney General Patrick Morrisey has won the Republican primary in his state. He'll be running against incumbent Democratic Senator Joe Manchin this November. This comes after ex-convict and former coal executive Don Blankenship conceded last night. During his campaign, he touted being Trumpier than Trump and made a number of enemies on the way. President Trump took to Twitter telling voters to not support Blankenship, and he wrote, "To the great people of West Virginia, we have together a really great chance to keep making a difference. Problem is, Don Blankenship, currently running for Senate, can't win the general election in your state. No way. Remember Alabama. Vote Rep. Jenkins or AG Morissey." Well, for more on the primary, we now want to welcome Hoppy Kercheval from Morgantown, West Virginia. He's a host of Talkline on West Virginia Metro News. Hey, Hoppy, great to have you on.
Thanks for having me back.
Absolutely. So Blankenship's defeat was really a win for establishment Republicans who feel that his tough rhetoric and past problems would only be a problem for them in November. But do you think Attorney General Patrick Morrisey is really a viable contender against Democratic Senator Joe Manchin?
Absolutely. Morrisey ran a very good campaign. He's won statewide races twice in West Virginia. This was a very tough primary, and Morrisey emerged with a pretty decisive victory, 6 points ahead of the nearest opponent. And he's a pit bull campaigner. He's very aggressive. So Morrisey will be strong against Joe Manchin in a state that is conservative. And that plays to Morrisey's favor. And Manchin is a Democrat. Now, he's a well-known Democrat, but he's still a Democrat. And he's got some baggage because of his association with Chuck Schumer and things like that. So, yes, this is going to be a very competitive race. This is a toss-up race right now.
So you say it's a toss-up race. What do you think voters are most concerned about when they weigh the two, Morrisey versus Manchin?
Well, there are a lot of factors here. The economy is always an issue in West Virginia. Jobs and the economy, that's always a big issue. We have a major opioid crisis in West Virginia. We have the worst opioid problems in America, so that's always an issue. Then for conservative voters in West Virginia, as I said, there's a lot of those. They're always worried about Manchin, whether he gets too far to the left. So that's on the minds of voters. And Manchin, I think he'll just run as Manchin. That is, you know me. I've been around. I've been governor. I've been Secretary of State. You know I have your best interests at heart. So keep me in Washington. So you have a lot of dynamics here at play in this contest coming up in November.
So analysts have said, Hoppy, that midterms across the country will be a referendum on the president. We know Mr. Trump won Virginia by really large margins. Does he still have a great deal of sway and influence in the state?
Yeah, Trump won West Virginia he got 69% of the vote. He beat Hillary Clinton by 40 points. So he's popular in West Virginia. This is probably one of his best states in the country. So he does have sway. And I think his tweet on Monday encouraging people to vote for Jenkins or Morrisey and not vote for Blankenship, I think had an impact. I don't think it decided, but had an impact on this election. So if Trump gets involved in his campaign, if he comes to West Virginia and campaigns for Morrisey, that's going to be a big boost for Morrisey and a big hurdle for Joe Manchin to try to get over.
I want to talk to you a little bit about the Democrat candidate, Richard Ojeda. He won the party's nomination for the state's 3rd congressional district. It's actually one of the reddest in the entire state. He's a military veteran. He's been called JFK with tattoos and a bench press. Does he have a real chance to notch a win for Democrats in November?
Absolutely, because southern West Virginia's gone red, but southern West Virginia still has a lot of Democrats, numerically more Democrats than Republicans. That's number one. Number two, Ojeda is a really good candidate. He's a military veteran. He still has that haircut that's high and tight, and he's a populist more than a blue Democrat like you might see in an urban area. He's very popular. You see a picture there. He's very popular with the teachers. During the teacher strike, he was like a celebrity, and people want to get their picture taken with him. So he has got some stuff that he brings to the campaign trail. He's going to take on a Republican, Carol Miller, who's a little bit more low-key, a little bit more of a traditional campaigner. So Ojeda has a real shot of taking back that 3rd congressional district for the Democrats in West Virginia.
Hoppy Kercheval, always a pleasure to have you on, Hoppy. It's such great insights.
Thank you so much.